gold makes up about 2% of my total investment portfolio. I don't really like to consider it investing in gold. The way that I look at it is that gold is a hedge. It's a hedge against inflation. It's my doomsday protection, and it's an alternative way for me to save money. When I buy gold, I think of it like saving hard money. We talked about how real estate is a hard asset. Well, gold is a form of hard money. And so gold doesn't really produce any value the way real estate does. Real estate produces value because somebody can live in this real estate property, they can use it, they can pay rent, and if more demand goes to that particular area, that value of that property will become higher because people want to own that land, people want to be in that area. With gold, it's a little bit different. When you have gold, it just kind of sits there and it looks back at you. So gold doesn't really produce value the same way that real estate does, although there are some applications to physical gold. It's not the same as physical real estate. However, the value with gold is that you have a limited supply of gold, and it takes time, effort, and labor to mine gold, and it's a physical, tangible asset. Those are the values that physical gold has. And so now when I own gold, my theory is that if I were to buy $10,000 worth of gold today, and I had $10,000 worth of physical cash, and then I buried both of these things in my backyard today, and then 10 years from now, I went and dug them up, my theory is that the physical gold would be able to have more buying power 10 years from now than that $10,000 worth of cash. So that's why I own a little bit of physical gold. I don't really sit here and try to track the prices of physical gold. I just buy a little bit of gold every month. It's a passive system for me. And so it's not a huge piece of my portfolio. I understand it's not really a traditional investment. It doesn't produce me any cash flow, but it's a little piece of my portfolio as my protection against worst case scenario situations. So about 18% of my portfolio is what I call speculative investments, and this is divided up between startups and cryptocurrencies. And when I say speculative, I mean these are things that could grow a lot and could also go to zero. When I invest in startups, this is a risky investment for me. My startup investments, I know most of them will go to zero. Statistically, 9 out of 10 startups will fail. But for me, I like investing in startups. That's fun. I like working with entrepreneurs. I like investing in entrepreneurs. I like providing the guidance with entrepreneurs. And I'm very fortunate that I'm in a position where I can also help these entrepreneurs, not just financially, but through guidance and even through exposure. So I like investing in startups because of that. For me, it's fun, but I'm trying to get a return on my money. That's why I invest in startups. However, many startups will fail. That's the name of the game. So now, if you want to invest in startups, understand that number one, it's risky. Number two, that you're probably going to lose money. And number three, the goal is that some investments will succeed and that those ones that succeed will make up for the losers. That's how it works when you invest in startups. Now, how do you go out and invest in startups? Well, nowadays there are a few platforms on the internet which will allow you to invest in companies looking to raise money. This is called crowdfunded deals. Crowdfunding is now where a startup is trying to raise money for their company, and in exchange for them raising money, they're essentially giving up some of their equity. They're giving up a piece of ownership in the company, and there are sites, crowdfunding sites on the internet, which allow and broker these deals that way now you can go out and invest as little as like $100 nowadays. You can invest as little as $100 into a startup, and you'll own a small piece of the company. If this company gets acquired later on for a big price, or they go public, you can get a big payday. If this company goes bankrupt, or they never get acquired, or they never go public, you might never see that money again. So you have to understand that going in. Is it risky? Yeah. Is it fun? Well, it depends if that's something that you're interested in. Now, the reason why I like cryptocurrency and that I invest in cryptocurrency isn't because I think it's the next get-rich-quick scheme. Is because I see the value of the blockchain and I see the value of having this type of cryptocurrency. How do I know? Because I have contractors that work for me overseas. And before, I used to have a bank where I had to physically go into the bank to send wires internationally because some of these contractors lived in countries that did not accept PayPal and a lot of the other online places where I could send money. So I had to physically go to the bank to send one of my contractors money. And then I was traveling to California where I couldn't find a bank, and I had to pay my contractor, which became a huge headache. And that was when he asked me, can you pay me with cryptocurrency? I said, sure. I tried it. I went to my brokerage account and I sent him a little bit of cryptocurrency. He received it in a few seconds instead of waiting hours, and it cost me a fraction of the price. We're talking about pennies in order to send this money to him. And that was when it clicked. It became a much easier way for me to send money from here to overseas. It's a much easier way to transport money, and it has a lot of implications. Now, that does not mean that cryptocurrency is going to make people rich overnight, although that's what a lot of people think it is. And it does not mean that you're going to see a whole bunch of coins with cats and dogs on them go to the moon, although that's what some people think. There's a lot of value in the blockchain. There's a lot of power in the blockchain, but it's going to take time. And there's a lot of hype and emotion in cryptocurrency that people have to really understand where the value is. So I invest in cryptocurrency. Again, it's a passive investment for me. I invest pretty much every single day in cryptocurrency. It happens automatically. And for me, I'm really not monitoring it that closely, but you know, if cryptocurrency prices go up, that will benefit me. If it went down to zero, it's a small piece of my portfolio, and it really wouldn't hurt me that bad either.
If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.